Hi, everyone. My name is Georgette True, and I am the host of Fight CPS with Miss G, and I also work with attorney Vincent Davis. And I have my other co-host, other than Stacy, Mr. Dave Biller. Hello, Mr. Biller. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on your show, Miss G.
You know what? You're welcome anytime, and I would like you to be part of the show if you like. If you have time, you're more than welcome to be part of the show. Um, I was discussing this
Anything to
with
help.
Dave. Huh? I'm sorry.
Anything to help the show. Anything to help the cause. You guys are
Exactly.
great. I don't mind helping.
You're so sweet. And we need this out there, Dave. So help us spread the word, please. Even to other parents who are not fighting CPS, please help us to spread the word. Okay. Um, see. Okay. So I came across a video that I want to share with you guys. And this is recently. It's a video about a mother who was in jail for like 11 days. Here we go. And that was like because she was trying to save her son from her dad. And we all understand there's good and bad in both sides, but this one is legit for us to learn from. And I want you guys to understand this. CPS got involved. The CPS judge gave the father custody of the child. Now, the mother had concern about the father doing drugs. So she told him, do not see the child unless you stop. Stop doing drugs around the child because the child is whatever he's observing, whatever he's doing in front of him. It shows on the child's hair follicle. So the CPS judge said to the mother that she's in contempt of court, but they would not listen to her because she would not allow the father to see the child. She hired a private investigator after the child was, I mean, after she came out of jail, she hired a private investigator to investigate the matter. The private investigator sent her a video of the father using the pipe in the vehicle while the child was with him. So he was smoking not just marijuana, other drugs too. He admitted it in court, by the way. I mean, this whole video, it shows him admitting it in court to the judge, and the judge still gave him full custody of the child and completely dismissed the mother and her concerns. The mother's drug testing came out negative each and every time. She tried to explain to the courts that and the social workers that her main concern was to help her son, and they did not care to listen to her. Okay, this was on the news. In our Listen. Order of protection investigation from earlier this week.
We told you about a Charlotte mother jailed for ignoring a judge's order. She admitted to keeping her son away from his father because she argued that he was continuing to abuse drugs and alcohol. She was jailed for 11 days on contempt of court charges, and with the mother jailed, the judge awarded full custody to her ex and gave the mother limited in-person visitation.
And the mother contacted Queen City News asking for an investigation, alleging judicial retaliation for what she contends was her attempts to protect her son. Well, once freed from jail, she hired a private investigator to follow her ex. And this is what the PI found. Her son's father using drugs in a grocery store parking lot in Cornelius last month. The father took a drug test a few days later, and it came back positive for marijuana. That's you, right?
Yes.
You were doing drugs in the car, right?
I believe I was either smoking marijuana or CBD.
CBD.
And
so marijuana or CBD, he says.
Recovering.
Okay. And so you're always in recovery, right? As an addict.
Yes.
And as an addict, are you supposed to be doing any kind of drugs?
I wouldn't be advised. No. This testimony happened in front of the judge in a court hearing on July 1st, but the judge did not take the boy away from his father then. But that changed last week when a judge awarded the mother custody after she had her son drug tested, and that test came back positive.
Well, now, another development tonight. The court has taken the child away from his mother again. And here's Chief Investigator Jody Barr with a follow-up to our Order of Protection investigation.
So I was sitting here and Roman was sitting here. We were painting and we were watching some of his cartoons on TV and having a snack. And then all of a sudden I get a text message from Josh. It says, Judge McPhenia rescinded your emergency order and she reinstated Judge Smith's 4/22/2022 order.
Meaning Jackie Kent had to explain to her son why he can't stay once again. The reason: on Thursday, Kent's ex filed an emergency motion for custody, asking Mecklenburg County District Court Judge Paige McPhenia to take the couple's 3-year-old away from Kent and to give him back to his father, Joshua Graham. Graham lost custody just last week after Kent had her son drug tested.
And it is negative for all of those except for marijuana right here, which is positive. It shows the drug screen. It should be 1 or below, and his was 6.4 picograms per milligram.
Days later, Graham had his son drug tested again. That test came back negative on Thursday. Graham's attorney filed the new drug test screen with a new emergency custody motion. The judge signed a brand new order Thursday,
So now we're turning Roman over.
temporarily giving Roman Kent back to his father.
So, you know what I've been telling you guys for years now, is that they always side with the abuser, and I'm not joking. You know, they're always side with the abusers. Whether you're in Kentucky, whether you're in Tennessee, whether you're in New York or New Jersey, whatever, California, it doesn't matter. CPS judges always side, and CPS workers always side with the abuser. The child. I mean, the mother did a drug test, a hair follicle test on the child. It came back with high level of meth, not just marijuana, meth, even though he said to the court that he was doing marijuana or CBD. Now, when the mother submitted that into court, her court attorney submitted that into court, the judge didn't care and still gave custody to the father. This crap is real. This is all over social media. This is not the first story we've heard. This is literally just one of them, of many true stories out there of kids going to the wrong parent or going to a foster home that's destroying the children, literally destroying their thinking, destroying their thought of their parents, destroying everything about reality. And all of that is to make a buck. Now,
I'm back. I apologize.
no problem. But this is just to show you guys, you know, this is whether it's the mother is the abuser or the father is the abuser, or none of the parents are the abusing the children, but the children go to an abusive foster home. Either way, the child will be damaged. This little kid was crying and asking his mother, why do I have to leave, Mom? Why do I have to go back? I want to stay here with you. That mother was not abusing the child. That mother was protecting the child. But if the mother did not call, right, did not report to the police or did not report illegal activities when it comes to her child and the other parent, then the mother is held that she failed to protect. Basically, they will say the mother failed to protect. But when the mother doesn't fail to protect, then the mother is being punished. If you guys really think about what I'm saying right now, whether it's the father protecting or the mother protecting or both protecting, it's always they fail to protect even when they're protecting. Did I make sense, Dave? I mean, if you want to elaborate on that, you're a father. But if you suspect the mother of your child, for example, doing drugs in front of your child, you take the child to do a hair follicle test and it comes back the highest level of drugs in the child. Now, wouldn't you protect your child and not allow that mother to see her? I mean, if it's other way around, what would you do?
Yeah, and that reminds me of something that I went through personally with Paige's mother years ago. In fact, our situation got so bad and so heated that we were exchanging custody in front of a state trooper at the state police barracks in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. There, we'd go into the lobby, we wait for a state trooper to come out. We did that for several months, about 6 months. Things were so heated between us, and there was accusations that, in fact, one of them that I was crying. I wasn't crying about. I was telling the courts about the whole time, and
Mhm.
this is what ultimately led to epilepsy. Is that her mother was engaging in behavior that wasn't really appropriate.
Mhm.
She was, I don't know what she was on, but one day she was. The story I got was that she left a house. She had been consuming something, and she was in an accident with Paige in the vehicle. Paige struck her head, and that ultimately led to her epilepsy. It's
Mm.
and this is while she was accusing me of being a bad father,
Right.
accusing me of doing drugs. I was a truck driver. I was getting urine tested regularly for all kinds of substances.
Mhm.
The worst thing I had in my body was nicotine from smoking cigarettes and caffeine from driving truck.
Mhm.
Um, but then the tide turned after that, and I slowly chipped away, and I got full custody by the time Paige was just about 5 years old. And that was the last time her mother ever saw her. She never contacted her again, aside from one message on Facebook saying, "Hi, I'm your mom. Hope you're okay." And now she's 26. So yeah, and that's just from one parent accusing the other, and me proving every time she accused me of something
Mhm.
that I was spotless, I was clean. I had log records and time charts when she would accuse me of stalking her. I was in a different state. I was going through a DOT inspection during the one time at the exact time when she said I was outside her door. I was 250 miles away.
Mhm.
So it's things like that that they will more or less biasly, at least in my situation in Northampton County, Pennsylvania, where we went through custody, they overwhelmingly biasedly took her side without ever considering, hey, maybe there's 50-50 here and something is the truth in the middle. And that's really what it was, because I had my opinion, she had her opinions,
Mhm.
and my opinion turned out to be true.
Mhm.
So
That's
yeah,
it's unfortunate. It's like I said, it goes both ways. A lot of women say, "Well, no men," and then a lot of men say women, and then I'm like, no, it goes both ways. There's bad and good in every sexist, meaning whether you're a man or woman, there's bad and good in all of us, right? So, with
absolutely.
that being said, it's unfortunate that two people cannot get along just for the sake of the children. I have seen parents who are divorced who got along with the children only because of, just because they made them together, they want to be there for them. Neither parent talk bad about the other child. I mean, the other parent, and that's how it should be. It doesn't matter how bad you feel about this parent or how much you despise this parent. You still made a child with them. You
Yeah,
chose to have a child with them. You can't just wake up one day because you held a guy's hand and you're pregnant, you know, or
no,
because you kissed a guy. This is an intimate thing that you chose to be, you know, in that situation. And then we have to deal with the
I
consequences. Yeah,
there, there are the exceptions.
yeah. But it's
There,
not
there
the
are the
child's
exceptions,
fault.
but I agree.
Yeah, it's not the child's fault.
It's
Um,
never the
nope,
never,
nope.
never. And when weaponize their children against each other, that just hurts the children and destroys the child and
Yeah.
creates a really screwed up adult sometimes.
Um, I want to express to everyone out there, I understand a lot of us don't know who we're dealing with, meaning you could be married to a narcissist you don't even know. That is a true fact.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not,
yeah,
I want you guys to understand that, yes, this is a very hard thing to detect. That's why I always suggest everyone, um, like my friend's brother who's getting married, he went to see a therapist, marriage therapist, counselor before they even commit to a marriage and children. The reason for that is because they will be able to understand marriage life and what have you, because when you get into the wrong relationship, you're going to open the door for CPS to walk in your life. Believe it or not, they're not waiting for a call to be made. If they want your baby from the hospital, they will make that call themselves to report you, thinking that somebody
yeah.
else reported you. That's what you guys need to understand. And the two whistleblowers that I
It's a good.
have, yeah, And even the whistleblower I had on the show a few months ago, she literally broke it down. The Dave, I don't know if you watched any of my shows before, but I had a
Yeah.
whistleblower on the show, and then I have two who are friends of mine right now. They used to work for the Department of Children and Family Services, and these are two
Okay.
different counties, by the way. Okay, two different counties. One,
Yeah.
up north. One is in LA County. They took, when they were hired, it was like a year and a half, something like that, and then they showed me, when they contacted me, it was through other people saying, you need to contact Miss G. So when they contacted me, I thought it was a social worker trying to trap me, right? I didn't believe
Yeah.
them at
Yeah.
first. Yeah. But when we met separately. One came from up north to LA, met me at Starbucks, and we started talking. She showed me the intake paperwork, meaning when she was hired. She showed me her badge. She showed her old badge. She took a picture of. She showed me text messages that she took screenshots of. She said she couldn't sleep at night knowing that she is destroying families. The social worker supervisor would tell them, for example, go to the hospital. There's a twin born. Um, but the social worker would go to the hospital and then I guess speak to the DHS in the hospital, and then they go into the mother's room pretending they're nurses, for example, and then they will ask questions to the mother, like, can you afford can you afford diapers? Can you afford this? Can you afford that? Blah 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 blah. Then the mother would say, "No, I just lost my job." Example, I just lost my job. Whatever the situation may be, right? Once they say that, then that's an opportunity for them to steal children.
They have
So
their
what they,
their
yeah,
hopes in you at that point.
correct. So, and then the supervisor would tell the social workers, oh, take the children to this home they want to adopt. So there's an adoptive home, right, that wants to adopt, and there is a placement home, and there is a guardianship home for only guardianship placement, right? And there's a temporary placement home. So there's three different types of home. And I explain this to everyone. Do not think that because you're a good mom and you don't do drugs and they will say you do drugs. They will literally trap you.
They'll lie. Yeah, they'll
Mhm.
lie in court. They'll lie under oath. Just like Elena and Betty did under oath here in Lackawanna County when she lied under oath to have Paige falsely committed into a guardianship. It's
Mhm.
just that
Yeah,
simple. People, they're humans, and people lie, and they have their careers. And the more cases they generate, the more wins they get, the more scores they get. It's just a tally board and makes them rise to the rank.
right.
At least that's my opinion. And
But they're
failure
not
falls
human.
upwards in
Hey,
CPS.
yeah, they're not human. Humans don't do that. Humans don't just lie to destroy families. You have to be a demonic individual, right? Possessed by demons to do something like that. Because if I enjoy seeing your pain, losing your child, that's not being human. And Dave just got frozen. I think it's just because he has really bad connection. But again, these people that inflict pain to remove your children for profit are not humans. That's why you need to lawyer up immediately. I was watching several videos of attorney Michael in New York and attorney Matthew in Texas, and other attorneys too are coming up and exposing CPS, by the way. Um, but I want you guys to understand that there's more attorneys coming out now. Before we couldn't find one attorney. So far, I found few attorneys, three attorneys in Texas who fight against CPS. And lawyer up, and each one of them said, do not speak to the social workers. Exactly what Attorney Davis is saying. Do not speak with them. You need to lawyer up immediately. I have people again that will calling me over and over again telling me they're going through their TPR hearing, termination of parental rights. Please don't take it lightly. From day one, they were already 200 steps ahead of you. From day one, please don't take this lightly. This is serious. You have to lawyer up. Lawyering up before they remove your children is a lot cheaper than lawyering up after you have a case open against you. Because if you wait until a case is open against you, then the money is going to increase drastically. Because again, when I explained to you guys, you're fighting against state and county. When you're fighting against
Back.
state and county, you're fighting the state attorney, you're fighting the county attorney, you're fighting the children attorney, you're fighting them, and you're fighting the social workers who really want that baby or kids. You're fighting the judge who has job security by using the social workers to remove children. So all of these people have job securities, therapists,
I can't hear you.
psychiatrists, all kinds of them depend on the social workers removing children from the home. So remember that. This is serious. Take it very seriously, guys. Take it very seriously and lawyer up. Like I said, Attorney Michael will not take in New York. He will never take. He said doesn't want to touch a case that's been open. He only takes cases during the investigation before the children are removed from the home. Once the case is open, it becomes very messy. I have several people who told me the only person that takes a messy case is Attorney Davis, but it's not going to be cheap retainer. I'm letting you guys know now. When you wait until the case is so messy, it's not going to help you whatsoever. Okay? Because again, you're going to have to come up with a lot of money to fight this case. But Davis knows how to handle complex cases. A lot of attorneys don't want to touch it. So it requires somebody who mastered the rights of parents in court to take on heavy load cases like this. But again, family and friends and close relatives needs to be able to help you financially. But like I explained to you guys many times, they will divide the family apart from you by lying to them about things you said that you didn't say, things they said about you supposedly, but they didn't say. Again, they will lie to separate you guys apart so you have no financial help and you have no emotional help from your families and friends. Okay? So again, lawyering up is important. Oftentimes I hear attorneys saying, do not speak to the social worker. Why? Because once you open your mouth to the social worker, they're going to take whatever you said and they're going to add 200 lines to it of things you didn't say. And then they're going to trap you. That's why it's best for the attorney to communicate with the CPS attorney. Attorneys are not going to speak to the social workers per se, but when you hire one, that is, they're going to communicate with their attorney. I have made numerous appointments with Attorney Davis with parents who have a parent who has a CFT meeting with the social workers. We tell them the same thing. Do not speak with them. Attorney Davis needs to listen to the call, at least be on a call, Zoom, or what have you, so he can hear what's happening and what type of questions they're asking his clients. Now, Attorney Davis will often say to his client, do not answer that question. Do not answer that question. Do not answer that question. Why? Because he knows whatever they say is going to be held against them. So that's why it's important to have an attorney present during your CFT meeting. Now, Attorney Davis or any attorney that handles CPS state cases and county cases do not take the case on just 1 day basis. Meaning when you guys call us and say, Georgette, I want to hire Mr. Davis on that one hearing. It doesn't work that way. You can't hire him for just one hearing. This is again, county and state is different than family court. You can hire us for family court, like a divorce or custody, for 1 day appearance, depending, and what have you. But you will pay for that 1 day. And if you need him again, you will pay again. But again, you have to submit paperwork and all that. So at the end, you're going to pay just as much. So it's best for you to understand that when you're dealing with the state and county, when they have jurisdiction of your child or they have investigation, that investigation is going to be an open CPS because that's what they aim for. They never, ever, ever do what they say they're going to do. Ever. CPS will never do what they say they're going to do. That's why it's important to lawyer up, and that's why it's important for you not to open your mouth. Now, I hear people saying, I have nothing to hide. We all know you have nothing to hide. We all know. I mean, if you really think about it, an innocent parent has nothing to hide. However, when you open your mouth you're setting yourself up to fail. Period. There is no there is nothing more to say about that, right? They don't read you your rights. They don't read you your rights. You have the right to remain silent, but they're supposed to. But they don't read your rights. When you act that, sorry, I need water. I've been talking with people all morning. When you tell the social worker, hey, I'm a good parent, it's all my ex-husband's fault, or all his wife's fault, his stepmom, or this and that. Don't think that the social worker is going to say, oh yeah, you poor baby, I'm here to help you. It's false. The more you talk, the more you speak, the more they're going to come at you saying, oh, the stepmom said that you did marijuana last year, or the stepmom said. Now they know the relationship between you and them is bad. That's why you should never badmouth the other parent, especially if they're in a different relationship, but they're still good parents, right? But oftentimes we get, the human mind will get upset because the father moved on or the mother moved on. But if they're both good parents to your children, I would rather you guys think about it harder, because they safer there than in a stranger's home that you don't know anything about. That's why it's very important for you guys to get it together, because when you don't get it together and you go to family court for a high conflict divorce or custody, CPS will be involved, because the family court judge will see that this is high conflict, the children are young, they're experiencing domestic violence, they're experiencing this and that. The judge can also in family court involve CPS. That's why it's important for you guys to get it together. Dave had bad connection, but he's back with us right now. I think, Dave, you have bad connection because
Yeah,
of the
can
area
you hear
you're
me?
in.
You
Can you
still
hear
having
us?
bad connection with me?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you quite fine.
Okay, good. Yeah. I know you were backstage and you heard everything I said. Do you have any feedback you want to give to other parents,
I hear
other fathers
echo
out there?
on your end.
Huh? Did you hear me, Dave?
I can't really hear you too well. I heard you before when I was listening in backstage. I could hear you quite well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I think it's just a connection. But based on what you heard backstage, do you want to add to it or you have anything to say? Okay, yeah, we're having bad connection, Dave. I'm so sorry, babe. Yeah. But if you guys want to if you want to be able to call in, I'm going to invite a couple of attorneys to be able to answer your questions about CPS. I am going to again invite Attorney Harris and Attorney Michael. And whether you're in New York or Texas, please join us. I'm going to first ask their schedule availability to join us, and I'm going to have Grace announce their them joining the show with me once I find out their availability time and date. And hopefully they can be together. If not, I can do each one separately. I'm also trying to get other attorneys from other states to encourage them to answer questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post my phone number when this happens, my direct number for the office. And you guys can call me and you can ask the questions that you want to ask to either attorney. Okay. Um, so I am going to work on that, and then Grace is going to announce it later on. Um, and then tomorrow there's no show, but for most of you guys that don't know, my time changed from 1:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Please, like, just do as much as you can to bring awareness of what CPS is doing. This stuff is real, and oftentimes you guys are clueless, and you guys contact us or do your own research after the damages have done. I'm hoping and praying that people do their research before, so that way they are aware of what they need to do. Um, and then, I'm hoping if you guys need any questions answered, you can contact me via text at 626-631-8901. That is my direct work number. Please do not attempt to call me, because I am always on calls, always. And I will not be able to answer your call. The best thing to do is text me and say, hey, Miss G, can you call me? This is Monica Herrera, for example. Give me your full name. Let me know your question, and then I will text you back and say I will call you shortly. Okay. Or I will call you after my call ends, whichever the case may be. Again, the number is 626-631-8901. You can text me. That is my direct work number. And please let me know what you guys decide to do. Whether you want me to share my number once the attorneys join us, or you guys want to just write your comments, in the comment section, with your questions and to be answered. Either way, I will work with you guys, and I will make sure that the attorneys answer your questions. Okay. So it's going to be Attorney Michael from New York and Attorney Harris from Texas. And I'm hoping I can get two more attorneys, hopefully from other states as well, but I will be working on that shortly. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Dave, for joining me. I know it was really bad connection, but thank you, Dave, for joining me. I'm hoping on Thursday, Dave, you have better connection. Hoping, so people can hear you and get some knowledge from you, what you've been through, and other fathers can learn from you as well. You're very smart. You seem to me like a great dad because you protected your daughter for so long, and I'm so proud of you. And not everybody can do what you've done. And I just want to help these people with your help, my help, and Stacy and everyone, and Cynthia and all this. I want to be able to bring knowledge out there, to give that knowledge so people don't make the same mistakes that we've done. You know what I mean? Kind of like, um, to save you guys from repeating what we've done, right? That was wrong. And that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. And praying for you. Thank you so much.